Welcome, everyone, to the Sport of Fitness Podcast, Episode 5. I am your host, Chase Ingraham. I have two amazing guests on the show. I've got Rory McKernan. We're going to talk everything about the Service Cup games that happened at CrossFit Mayhem this past weekend. And then after that, I have the man, Daniel Chaffey. And we're going to talk all about how sports and CrossFit together is the best symbiotic relationship that we can have for the growth of our methodology worldwide. And then to close things out, it's the best segment that we have. It's the top 10 feats of fitness. Make sure if you guys want to be debuted on our top 10, you can send me videos on Instagram. You can tag CrossFit, the CrossFit Games, but make sure you use the hashtag Forging Elite Fitness. But up next, we have Mr. Rory McKernan.
How long are you going to listen to a society that tells you it's a pill, it's an injection, it's this, it's that? There is no quick fix. Yes, optimal health can be a reality. Yes, you don't have to be the quickest, the strongest. All it takes is you making a decision right now. This is your time because practice makes permanent.
Mr. McKernan.
Hey, well, right away, huh?
Right away. Yeah, right off the jump. Yeah, we're bringing in fast.
Props to the media team, man. I love that video you just played.
Well, I mean, you guys at Mayhem have been producing content well in between the dark days of CrossFit not producing content, which I think was one of the biggest things we've missed over the last 3 to 5 years. Affiliate owners say it. Pundits like me have been saying it. What does it feel like to see it back, in a sense, since the CrossFit Games with the campaigns that HQ's been putting out so far?
I mean, it feels great. And actually, this is segueing obviously into an event that we did in collaboration and partnership with CrossFit. And I'll take it a step further and I'll tell you behind the scenes, it's been really pleasant. I was giving Midge a hard time. Midge is social coordinator and media guru. I don't know her official title because she didn't come to the event, but in truth, man, she connects the dots so well. It's been a real pleasure behind the scenes as well when we do collaborative media and coordinating stuff. So yeah, man, all the way around, it's been really, really uplifting.
That's awesome. And I've certainly enjoyed it. I mean, I've got a Forge Elite Fitness banner behind me that we've been beating that drum. I mean, it's been the drum since CrossFit came to be. I think it's the 3 greatest words to describe CrossFit to anybody outside of maybe the L1 technical phrase, which nobody can really grasp until they really start getting into it. But with Mayhem and what you guys have done, you talked about collaborative efforts. You guys had the Service Cup games this weekend at Mayhem. And if you guys haven't followed the Service Cup, it's gone through a couple of evolutions over the years. Back in the days, what was it called? The occupational games, which was more,
it was really at that point. I think it was just during the Open, Sean would give props and say, "Hey, like here's who won the divisions," and so on and so forth. So yeah, the evolution is great, man. And not to step on you. Sorry. It was the coolest part of it was, there's the games and there's the Mayhem Classic and there's things like that. But it was obviously a smaller event, but the folks who came to compete were so fired up. Like, just to give them a stage, our media will drop here within the next 5 days.
Okay, I was wondering when that was gonna come up.
Yeah, and hopefully people were following on social because it was really, our team. I can't say enough about. You gave them kudos. I'll give them props too. They just kicked out so much good stuff. But yeah, there's going to be some great stuff coming as well. So, but yeah, the vibe was so good, man. They were just stoked to be here.
Well, if people need to understand is like grassroots CrossFit 25 years ago, we're deeply rooted and almost birthed out of first responders communities, our military around the world. And it's like, there really is no better training methodology for that type of occupation, which spurred the occupational games. And you said 5-7 years ago, it was just out of the Open. And then a couple years later, they did the extra stage online. But then you guys stepped up last year when it went away, and CrossFit Mayhem hosted the Everyday Hero Games CrossFit Mayhem hosted the Everyday Hero Games a lot like you did this weekend, but you guys did it last year on your own. Now you collabed with the CrossFit Games to bring it back in this new Service Cup Games format that you had last weekend.
Yeah, and gosh, I might have my timeline off, but I think it was 2 years ago that we both did it in isolation. Last year we had like a loose collaboration with CrossFit, and this year we went full bore.
Mm.
But yeah, it is cool to see that, and it's funny because of course, for these videos, I'm like writing voiceovers and content, so I'm in that sappy mode. But what you said about there's this inextricable link, and so even folks who, well, I speak for myself, right? I don't have any background in service in any law enforcement, much less military or the medical professionals, but that's who we've been surrounded by. So like you were a red shirt for a long time, still are, right? You still do seminars?
No. I have
Yeah. Okay.
I'm now the host of the Sport of Fitness podcast.
Okay, great. Hey, what a good gig, man. But I would say that those folks influenced my life. I wish that I had been around people like that earlier in my life, up to and including like literally my first seminar was the first time that I got actual tangible feedback where somebody was like, hey, good job, but like just because you basically perform baseline, here's how you need to get better. And I think that those communities are known for that. But yeah, man, when you look back at history and you're like, okay, so this hit the mainstream really in the early 2000s when .com came around. The first people that were reaching out were Department of Justice and military folks who were like, holy cow, this is what I've been looking for.
Yeah.
And that just became part of the culture, became folded in. And then of course, hero workouts were born from that, and all the tributes that we do. It's really cool to see, man. Even my friends from like high school, for example, I just had a buddy out and I came home, he was visiting, and we had done chat for the 1,000 step ups.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, you did what? And I was cool, trying to give him the watered down version of what a hero workout was. And he was like, give it to me, give it all to me. And I sent him,
wow.
He's been doing regular gym stuff for however long, but I sent him Chad's story, and he listened to Sarah talk and read some of the content, and was like, he went to the gym the next day. And
wow.
I think he said he got through 500 unweighted.
I was gonna say, is he okay?
But he was like, I get it. I totally get it.
That's really cool. And about the event that went down this weekend, obviously you hosted it in person. Now there was the online qualifying stage, which was technically the Service Cup, where people could compete online to qualify for this in person. Now you guys took it a different route. I'm not sure if you guys did the same thing last year, but it was a pairs event with these different divisions.
Yeah, it was the same thing last year. Rich loves team stuff. And
that's, I don't know why he would ever.
and it makes for an interesting dynamic, right? So yeah, whoever the highest placer, and it didn't always end up being the winner. This year you could actually sign up for multiple divisions. So if I'm a medical professional who's also a firefighter, you could do that. But yeah, whoever won the division got to turn around, or the highest placement got to turn around and be like, hey, as long as they're on the leaderboard, as long as they did the Service Cup, they were able to pick anybody on the leaderboard. So maybe, this is a guy that I train with at the firehouse, or this is, somebody that I train with on a consistent basis. And that added a really cool dynamic. Challenging for some, like our medical females had to jump through a bunch of hoops and find partners. But yeah, I thought it gave it a really cool dynamic.
And this is it's the third event you guys have hosted at CrossFit Mayhem this year. Who can forget 25.1, which is, you hosting an open announcement for the first time in years, which was just, for me, that's my kind of nostalgia, just seeing that from the broadcast side. Rich jumping into an open announcement in the Rocky American flag shorts. And then you guys had the Mayhem Classic this year, which actually ended up being, you had the first open announcement, you had the first in-person qualifying event, and now you guys host the service games. What has that been like for you guys there? Obviously Mayhem is a worldwide brand. What you guys do for affiliates, your community worldwide is really second to none, in my opinion, as well as the sport, media, everything that you guys provide in the space is for me, a very enjoyable piece of what it means to be a part of CrossFit as a whole. But for you guys on site, that is not an easy thing to do, to host one event, let alone three in the same calendar year. What's that been like for you guys?
100%, man. Like we had, after we did the first Mayhem Classic in 2019, we were like, holy cow, like, are we an events company? Like, can we keep this up? And at the end of the day, what it comes down to is Rich really values giving that, even if it turns out to basically be a service to the community. But the real answer to your question is a massive haul. So it's a good time for me to kind of give a shout out to our team. Josh Malone's the dude behind the scenes who's really the glue of the team. Bella Martin is a relatively new addition who's made massive changes to for the better to how we do things and what we do. And then honestly, we talked about our media team earlier, led by Scott Vandersloot. We've got a new addition, Toby Crafty is awesome. Ben Davidson was out there just crushing it, and Frank Cruz, the whole crew. And but more than anything, it's funny. I was thinking about this earlier. It was the Service Cup, and a lot of times we overlook the affiliate communities, and we are so spoiled with all the events you mentioned. They're people from Cookeville. We almost get sometimes not hate mail, but we get people who are really disappointed because we're looking for volunteers, and the whole roster is full just from folks who are here on site. And any affiliate can probably talk to that, right? You've got a dude who, Revo Larson, great example. As far as I knew, he was just a local dude who he liked to DJ. And so he's been our DJ and works on equipment all the time. And he was like a really heavy hitter at Disney. He was an executive, and this is just kind of like what he likes to do now. And so we're really spoiled with that. And then, of course, Rich, our whole executive team showed up, plugged in for the weekend just to be a part of it. And it was really, really cool to see everybody kind of come together.
Well, and you talked about the collaboration between Mayhem and CrossFit HQ, and part of our executive team was there on site. I know Don Fall was a part of that. Adrian Bosman was. Did you guys pair up for a little workout?
Yes to both. Me and Don on Friday, and me and Boz on Saturday at the event for DT.
That's awesome.
And I only feel comfortable saying this because I said it to his face. We had a great time. We spent a lot of time with Don, and on Friday it's a coach's choice, and a lot of times it's a kitchen sink type workout. And we all went in there, and people were pairing up, and they're like, "Hey, go partner with Don." And I was like, "Okay." And in my mind, I'm like, "I'm gonna crush this dude." He throttled me, dude. Like
wow.
It was a million GHD sit-ups and burpee box jumps over, and it turned into one of those things where I was like, "He's not slowing down. I guess I'm not going to slow down either." And then Boz showed up, and we did partner DT on Saturday, which was really cool. Initially, it was going to be Rich and just a couple of folks, and he was like, "Nah, we're going to invite anybody in house who wants to do it." So we had, who knows, maybe 50 teams out on the floor throwing down in like an I go, you go, 12-minute AMRAP of DT. So that was really cool.
That's
unfortunately
awesome.
I'm feeling it now because my version of Forging Elite Fitness is I got the gray hairs. And anytime I do GHDs and I follow it with a pull off the ground within like 48 hours, I get that back, I can't put my shoes on the right way. So I'm feeling it. But yeah, we had the whole team out. Heather Lawrence is my new best friend, whether she wants to be or not.
That's great.
And
that is awesome.
Yeah, the whole crew's been really, really pleasant to work with.
What, before I let you go, is you guys are bringing back the Mayhem Classic as a semifinal qualifier event again. What are some of the things we can look forward to that maybe we don't know yet when it comes to what you guys are bringing to the space next year?
Well, I mean, you can always expect the same standard that we brought in the past, right? So we like to have top athletes. We're giving them opportunity to qualify early in the season. So none of that changes. What can I hint at without giving anything away? We might ask athletes to be here on Friday. We might not. The duration may change, but more or less, you can expect more of the same. Fantastic event, top athletes. I'd like now, since I have the microphone, to call out Dallin Pepper, who had to drop from the event last year. I heard him saying he was going to other events, but he promised me, Dallin, you promised that you were going to come. So hoping that Dallin shows up, hoping Jason comes. And hoping we have some battles, to defend titles, win a ticket to the CrossFit Games. Man, we like to do it big here. So
we're gonna get Rich and Angelo back on the broadcast.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's a given.
Yeah, nice.
It's funny, Rich doesn't love to be on scripted stuff, but I think he's
no, he doesn't. The commercials Rich reads are so great.
I think he secretly loves the live stuff, and it's cool for me. You can appreciate this too. People loved Roe versus Boz, for example, because it was a little bit more everyman. But when you're watching top athletes throw down, it's really cool to hear from the programmer and to hear from folks who are like, well, here's how I would attack it. And they've got credentials to back that up and be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, yeah, of course, don't worry about what I do because I don't do any of those, but it's
exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody wants my workout advice.
No, it's not that at all. Well, Ro, thank you so much for coming on the show, and just to you and the whole Mayhem crew, just thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for what you guys bring to the space, what you've done for the space, what you've carried for the space for quite some time now. And I'm hoping in the future we're all carrying the same boat together. So thank
Amen.
you.
That. Love you, buddy. Talk soon.
Good to see you. I was going to play a L1 clip for you guys, but instead I decided to play a chip challenge. Will be our next video before we segue to Mr. Daniel Chaffey. And I believe Jason Hopper lost a bet with betting on the boys with Jess Medeiros, Jason Hopper, Dallin Pepper, who should be doing the Mayhem Classic, apparently, and James Sprague. And this was the 90-second results of that chip.
You know what? I just had a mindset shift, bro. It's just a Dorito, bro.
It's just a Dorito. Cool Ranch. Hey!
That ain't nothing, bro.
Dude, right now.
Really ain't nothing. That really ain't nothing.
Doing great.
No, I don't need that yet.
Oh, dude, hiccup's gonna be nasty.
I got the hiccup.
Do you think his head's gonna turn?
Why do I got the hiccup?
It's just a Dorito, bro.
Oh my God.
Why is it so aggressive?
I don't know.
What are the hiccups from, dude?
Are you gonna?
How low do I go?
What do you mean how long?
What do you mean? Drink something.
I'm gonna see how low I go out with this milk.
Oh,
Holy!
this is horrible. He's cut. No,
Oh my God.
work, bro.
No,
What is that?
I need,
What is that?
no, I need it down my throat.
He said.
I need it now. I need it now.
Manners out the door.
I'm not talking. No, I'm not talking at all.
This is
If
really,
if I stop putting things in my mouth,
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Daniel. I love when a lot of our games athletes get together and start having fun again in the public. I felt like we got there was a time where everyone just like went into their hiding for the whole year and then came to compete and then went into hiding again. And back in the day, it was these kind of fun things. And to see that from those guys, I think is a really special bonus to the community.
And hats off to them for doing it themselves, right? And taking that initiative. But it's part of, I think, like this sentiment of rebirth of CrossFit. And these guys are leading from the front. It's really nice to see. I was going to call them kids, but they're not kids. They're grown men. But
they are. I mean, they're still like low 20s. So to me,
they're young enough to be my sons.
Yeah, I just turned 43. So like now I get it why people just saw me as a kid back in the day when I thought I was a full grown man, but definitely not the case when I think about that back in time. But thank you so much for coming on the show. We just talked to Rory McKernan about what Mayhem does, not just inside the affiliate, but outside the affiliate when it comes to sport. And this topic has come up several times that I see in different places of, well, the sport isn't CrossFit and CrossFit is the methodology. It's like, yeah, we know that. Those that have been here for a while know that. The sport is us just seeing what we are capable of in a competitive setting, yet it still is a level of what we do on a day-to-day basis, regardless of the stage at which we compete on. I think it's the same mentality of the 50-year-old mom trying to just get her life back together after kids start going to school. There's as much angst and anxiety to step into a CrossFit class as it is our elite athletes to step on the competition floor. And what I loved about the old regional stage is that you had the melting pot of both and an opportunity to get owners and fans and members and athletes all together in one spot outside of just competition. And you are, to me, the perfect example of that bridge between sport and CrossFit methodology when it comes to our affiliate community and our trainers, because you've got 3 incredible affiliates. You run one of the best events every year with the French Throwdown. Do we need to separate the two, or is it a symbiotic relationship that could advance us forward even bigger and better than ever?
I think it would benefit nobody to separate the two, in all honesty. There's a symbiotic relationship between them. Top-end athletes, they're aspirational. It doesn't matter how old, I heard the George Clooney of CrossFit complain about having a dodgy back after a GHD.
That's a good nickname for Rory.
He's the George Clooney of CrossFit now that he's got his, the gray up top and stuff. It doesn't matter what age you are, it's aspirational. And so this in Albany were the first games where I actually could sit in the bleachers and watch.
Oh, really?
Well, I'd always been working the games before, and so this year I wasn't really working the game. So I sat there and I took some people from the boxes and from the French Throwdown, and there's a group of 9 of us from France over. My son and his mum, so my ex-wife, right? And it was her first time at an event outside of the French Throwdown. So she's always helped organize the French Throwdown. Yeah. It was her first time. I'd always invited her to the game. She never wanted to come for some bizarre reason, probably me. But this year she
just see two right next to each other. So you just spread them out this time.
She's never done a competition in her life.
Okay.
But watching the games, she came back to the box and works with the teams with a renewed vigor and energy from being inspired by the game. She brings back ideas for the French. If it can inspire her, and she's Mediterranean women, bit temperamental, that kind of stuff. If it can inspire her, the games can inspire anybody. And I think if you took away the sport from the affiliates, you would lose a really big moment for the affiliates, which is the Open, right?
Right.
And then now that we've got teams back at in-person semis,
yes, thank God for that.
If you can qualify a team, you rent buses, and we used to go to Madrid. We took 40 people to Madrid when we qualified a team for the regionals. They finished last, but we didn't care.
Yeah,
there's 30 teams. They finished 30th. I mean, I think we did most of the workouts or something, right? But it was just an amazing moment for the community. Mm-hmm. Even though they're like 40 of us in the crowd in Madrid, plus the team. All of our members from the boxes knew what was going on. They were super proud. They were sending messages. They felt this sense of belonging. That, oh wow, anybody doing CrossFit can make it, and those moments are back. And so that's fantastic. And then for the sport, if you took away the link to affiliates,
like what you have,
the Open would.
Yeah, there are not enough fanboys in the world to support a sport that doesn't have a community base below it, which is why most people try to replicate the same model ineffectively to do the same thing. And you cannot manufacture that unauthentically like we do with the Open. But the one thing I wanted to touch on is that you talked about is seeing people compete and then being inspired to go in the gym. The caveat to that is seeing people compete in person. And that's a big thing I want to talk about is it's not that regionals or semifinals are so important. It's that being at a regional or a semifinal is so important, and more important when you're there in person. So the fact that we have more people qualifying or able to attend on an elite level, teams are back in games qualifying position. Now we have age group athletes having an opportunity to qualify in person at a live semifinal event, which the French Throwdown is hosting, is that it's the in-person. Watching, if you can't go, please watch the live stream. But if you can, we cannot understate the power of, like you said, connection of those. We read a book together, I think earlier this year. So those collision moments with friends, family, athletes, members, affiliate owners, vendors, just random people in the space. There's nothing better than being in person. In my experience at the French Throwdown 2 years ago, you guys, it is so far beyond what happens on the competition floor. The way you would talk to the crowd, the way the crowd comes together, your judges, your volunteers, it is all in service of CrossFit. It just happens to be at a sport location that we're doing it.
I'll be honest, the French Throwdown is an excuse to bring people together. And we celebrate CrossFit in all its forms. We throw a party. We literally throw a party. The Friday night is the volunteers party. The Saturday night is the affiliate party. And for me, so the Thursday registration, and the two parties are the most important moments of the whole event for me. Where you're meeting and greeting people. And if you didn't have the event, you probably wouldn't have an excuse to see those people again, and you haven't seen them in a year, or you haven't seen them since the games, or I wouldn't have seen you in Lyon. I wouldn't have seen you for over a year if we hadn't had that excuse to come together.
Yeah.
So the sport has is a wonderful excuse to bring people together. But in general, in CrossFit, what we're good at is bringing people together. We bring them together to educate them on seminars. We bring them together to train them in a box. You can get education online and you can work out in your home gym on your own.
Yeah.
But
I've tried that and it did not work.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's better than nothing, right? It's a BTN. But we're at our best when we bring people together. And you can compete online and you can do a quarterfinal or semifinal online, like the age groups had to do last year.
Yes.
But I had a team trying to qualify for the games. Did her qualifiers in a box on a Sunday, video, all this kind of stuff, right? And there were a couple of family members there to encourage her on, all this kind of stuff. You know, she had all these hopes and aspirations, and she didn't make it.
Yeah.
And her season finished on a Sunday evening, you know, like nearly on her own.
Yeah, it was like what, three people
in the box where she
there?
plays all the time. No experience, no opportunity for growth,
Mm-hmm.
or for that experience, which an in-person event gives you. And you know, 2024 was already good, but
Yes.
we made some mistakes. 25 was a really tough year. I'll be very honest.
Yeah, it was for everybody.
As an in-person qualifier, coming off the back of all the changes and what had happened in 24.
Mm-hmm.
25 was a hard year, and we knew that it was going to be like a hump we had to get over. But honestly, like we've got wind in our sails, you know, and the changes that have been made. You know, I've never blown smoke up, you know, anybody's jacksie, and I'm not going to do it for Dave. He doesn't need it, you know. I think the changes that he's instigated with his team, and I you know, and when I say his team, it's going to be, you know, Boz, Heather, J Mac, you know,
Yeah.
are really smart. You know, bringing back the teams, making in-person qualifiers more important. Yes, having an online opportunity, but putting it at the back end of the in-person qualifiers, not at the front end.
Oh.
All these things, making in-person qualifiers available to the age group categories, because if they don't make it to the games, at least they've had that experience and they've felt that vibration, you know, at an impact. All those changes are really good. And then the other thing I want to say, just announcing it's like, you know, the unknown and unknowable is meant to be the workout. It's not.
Right.
It's not the season. Shouldn't be unknown and unknowable. So rectifying that is a really, really big one. Bringing back media and, you know, and you know, your ugly mug on the podcast is fantastic. You know, look at that. So yeah, all these changes are really good, and we've got the wind in our sails. And then another shout out to the games in Albany. I didn't even know where Albany was. I'd heard of it. I knew it was the capital city of the state of New York.
The fact that you knew that, I guarantee you 95% of the U.S. population.
It's like, yeah. And well, is anyone ever going to go to New York again? We'll see after the next elections. And but I wasn't particularly looking forward to Albany. You know, having lived Carson and Madison and also, like, you know, going to Texas was I was just so excited, you know, going into Texas, and then everything that happened there it was so upsetting. Yeah, that it was going to be a hard season, 2025.
Yeah,
and I just felt like the games team really pulled it together, and they did it. It wasn't faultless. No, but I was. And you know, I had to tell Dave that was really impressive. The team
was an incredible games. Yeah. I wasn't excited about Albany. I did not enjoy the season very much. Just the whole year, like you said, I knew it was going to be a very hard year for a lot of different reasons in 2025. And anything that I'd ever said in a public setting was like, we've got to earn it back this year. It's not going to be the best year. It's going to be the year that we have to work the hardest for the least recognition of the hard work that we do. But at the games and after the games, I truly felt that we flipped the script. Right? Yeah. This is what it's all about. It's still here, that spark at the games. And now we've seen this flood of media and marketing that everybody's been begging for since like 2020. And now we have the CrossFit store. They put Pukey the Clown on a freaking t-shirt. I don't think people really understand how wild that is, that actually happened again. The whole season's laid out. The Open's coming back. We're collaborating an Open announcement with Wadapalooza in the third. Yeah, that is unheard of. And so
I just think that honestly, the team have really had whether there's a paradigm shift in there and whether they've done it consciously or it's just an evolution. it's really good. Even looking at from the outside, I was looking at everything that was broadcast during the games. And coming back to your point about sport and affiliates, are they should they be disassociated? I think the sport brings eyeballs in, outside eyeballs. I have old school friends that have never done CrossFit that have watched the games, right?
Right. Same.
It's the opportunity then to hook them in, right? The eyeballs on. Okay, we're going to a break, and then the break is, what is CrossFit for you? And you got an 87-year-old woman saying, "I came into the gym, I couldn't do my own laces." CrossFit for me is being able to tie my shoelaces.
Yeah,
that's like whoa. We shouldn't disassociate them at all. We need to get even better at bringing those two together. And when the eyeballs are on the sport, use that to say, this is what the peak looks like. Now, what do we do on a daily basis in the gyms? And why should you walk into a gym?
And I think the other thing is people need to think is like, it is also a long game. Like you said, you have friends that watch the games that don't do CrossFit, but maybe they will one day. I've got friends that send me videos from the games being broadcasted and they don't do CrossFit, but they might 3 to 5 years from now. He's like, you know what? I've been putting it off long enough. And it doesn't have to have that instant gratification, which I think just society in general wants to have. And that goes along with, what we've seen with like fitness crazes and all these, medicines out there, the quick fix bullshit that we've been dealing with for a long time now. It's that we went from chronic disease to this just fake way to get fit or get healthy and get in shape. And we know that's not the case because there is no longevity to that. There's no sustainability to that. And to bring both together between the community, the methodology, and the sport, I'm with you. There's no better place to be than at these things in person. Online is a necessary evil. We have to have that. But now that we've got so much more back, I think it's great. So, Daniel, before we
you're going to ask me some questions, but I just wanted to give a shout out as well to the.
Would you like to? Yes, one more thing.
The marketing team.
Yes,
because I've been around a long time, and you were mentioning like the period where there was no media. Media teams were ripped out, social media was ripped out, all that kind of stuff. We've seen different iterations, and the messaging at the moment is some of the best we've ever had, and I think that needs to continue as well.
I saw I was on the town hall meeting earlier today, and Jada Coons talked about the quick fix right out the games. Yeah, and it's the most shared, viewed media content CrossFit has ever had that they put out. Of like all time. So that's got to count for something, but we can't rest our laurels on one video. We have to keep it going. And the media team, I think, has done a great job of keeping that going. So, all right, I have 5 questions for you. And here's the format. We do this with our second guest.
You're going to get anyone fired? You can't get me fired. I've already been fired a few times.
Am I going to get anyone fired? I don't know. Are you going to get someone fired? Mainly the guy that allowed you this platform to give answers to these questions? Possibly, yes.
Okay.
But, we give you questions. It's a bit of a rapid fire. They're going to get, I would say, more challenging or a little bit more depth as we go from 1 to 5.
Okay.
So, are you ready, Mr.
Daniel? Born ready.
All right. I'm just going to go. What is the correct way to say your last name? Because
if you're French, it's Chaffey. If you're English, it's Chaffey.
Chaffey. Okay. Chaffey. No more Chaffey.
No more
Chaffey.
Chaffey.
All of you people out there, stop saying Daniel Chaffey.
Maggie Mullins.
Yes.
Stop saying Chaffey. Yeah.
Now, part of me is like, I thought I always knew that, but then I kept hearing people say Chaffey, and I'm like, have I been saying it wrong? So I was a little nervous. All right, that was an easy one. Number 2, what's the most valuable asset? Sorry, stop pushing buttons, Bishel. What's the most valuable asset a coach can have on the coaching floor?
Well,
yeah, I would say, how about this one?
In terms of his character?
The one that nobody thinks about, right? That maybe it's like this little nugget that goes a million miles that nobody would even.
Empathy. Understanding, putting themselves in the other person's shoes. Empathy.
Yeah, I agree. That goes a long way. I had to learn that the hard way, to be honest. I thought I was, and then I had to get like horribly out of shape. This was about 3 years ago, and I've never been afraid to work out before.
But it's hard for fit youngsters that have never been unfit and that have never been old yet to understand someone in their 50s.
You think you care, but once you experience, you're like, listen, I get it. Yeah. All right, number 3. Why should the regular, everyday gym goer do the CrossFit Open?
It's just a celebration of fitness. It is the biggest participatory sport in the world. And by participating, we really do sincerely help the future of CrossFit. Why? Because that number of people taking part in the Open speaks volumes to TV broadcasters, to potential sponsors and partners, and that helps grow everything. And it literally, it's like strength in numbers.
Imagine what we could do with 500,000 people sign up for the Open, and that's not a huge number. I know everybody thinks like it's not. It's
there are 500,000 people doing the Open. It's just that they're not all registered for it. In affiliates.
Yes,
in affiliates, there are 500,000 people doing the Open.
All right, two more. Best advice for affiliate owner going into 2026. They've got about 2 months before Jan 1.
Wow. Plan your year. Plan your events throughout the year. Use every event as a prospecting tool. Use every event to activate and bring your members in and keep them consistent. Every single month, the natural calendar, the CrossFit calendar provides opportunities to bring people together. Just focus on that, and you'll be feeding your community.
I did an affiliate gathering. It was in Oklahoma City when mentioning a calendar, and the advice I gave the group, because they were talking about planning your calendar, is like there should be a wall in your gym that is a calendar where I think your gym owners, or sorry, your gym members can put their big life things on there for the community. It's like, hey, listen, I'm in the orchestra. Our biggest show is in December. That should be on the affiliate calendar or celebrating promotions. So not just like, hey, that we're doing the Open in February, March.
Yeah,
so.
there should be the local fun runs. There should be, all that sort of stuff should be in there as well.
I love that. All right, last one. You ready for this one? I don't think you are. What's it like raising a son with CrossFit?
Oh, amazing. He was hanging from rings before he could walk. He was out shooting the crossbow in the dark, but I was afraid he was gonna hit one of the cats. So absolutely amazing. I picked him up this evening. He finished school. What does he want to do? He did his homework, went to the gym. He's training with the adults. He's been training with the adults since he was 13. He can do anything. He can come with me and get on a horse for the first time in his life. We can go rock climbing, surfing, skiing. The world is his oyster, and he's fit. He's healthy. He's got a head start in life. If you got kids, nothing better. And as a box owner, what an amazing environment. Really
my kids are young. They're not quite your kids' age, but they have a knack for going in the garage to work out just on their own. And they like pull out mats and a PVC pipe and throw little change plates on there very dangerously and little dumbbells. And I'll just go out there and I won't even tell them what to do or how to, like, it's just so cool to see. And that's a product of you. Right?
Yeah,
it's a product of me, is that I do this for me. They may be in front or present for that. And it's a lead by example kind of a thing, which as fathers, that's an important part of it.
It's important to look after yourself in order to be able to look after other people.
Yeah.
It's important to show them that strength matters, health matters, and that you're not a victim. You're taking control of your life, right? And so you forge their mentality for the rest of their life. They're in control. These are you want your kids to create. You want them to be in control. You don't want them to be victims. And CrossFit teaches you that, I think.
I love that. Well, Mr. Chaffey.
Chase, you stud muffin. I hope to see you at the French Showdown, mate.
Hey, I'm just a phone call away. Just gotta let me know.
Let's make it happen.
Well, I appreciate it. It'll be May 15th through 17th in Paris, France.
Yeah, it's in Paris.
All right. Where was it last year? I got to come to Lyon, but I didn't come.
Yeah, last year was in Montpellier, which is down south.
Okay. And now you're bringing it to Old Paris. Yeah,
back to Paris. We wanted to do a different venue, which is outstanding. But we'll save that venue for the games when they decide to bring the game.
Year 21.
Nudge.
Yeah, come on. Rogue Invitational can't be the only one doing stuff in Europe. Well, Chaffey, thank you so much for your time. Again, thank you for everything that you do beyond just being an affiliate owner of 3 incredible affiliates, running the French Throwdown, but what you do alongside with me here at CrossFit. So I certainly appreciate you. You're an inspiration. You're a mentor. And just want to thank you for everything.
Thank you for your kind words, man. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
All right, team. We'll be back next with our top 10 feats of fitness.
It all starts with a choice. You don't feel strong. You don't feel ready. Good. Nice. You showed up.
Easy. Right.
That's the only starting point. This isn't about perfection.
go.
It's about the fight. Failure? It's not a detour. It's the road that progress demands. We don't ask, are you able? We ask, are you willing? Willing to walk through the door, to turn fears into fuel, to keep showing up again and again. The true test has never been ability. It's willingness.
Welcome back, everyone. We are going to hit our top 10 feats of fitness for the week segment. If you guys want to be featured on this, do something incredible out there. Show us your PR. It doesn't have to be the heaviest lift the world has ever seen. We've seen young kids PR in their back squats. We've seen people do incredible gymnastics. If it's something that entertains at least me, I'm going to put it on the top 10. So without further ado, let's get to our top 10 feats of fitness.
You know what? I just had a mindset shift, bro.
Definitely the wrong button. Number 10 just got announced that Willow Kiatumi, Shane Orr will be welcoming a new addition coming up this year. Congratulations, you guys. Number 9. If it's a Turkish get-up video, you guys are probably automatically going to get on a top 10 just with my personal biases. But not only do we have the single arm, we have the double Turkish get-up challenge with dad and the kids. As me and Daniel just talked about the importance of staying fit for the kids. Number 8, speaking of kids, everybody pay attention about the speed underneath this bar, that overhead position. But my favorite is always the post-PR celebration. Number 7, we have a really good way to make sure you are doing a strict bar muscle up. Just put a wall. Maybe we'll bring that back to regional movement. 6, I don't even know what this is. It's a cartwheel up a pole. My mind has not quite figured out how she does it, but I know she did it. She made top 10, actually top 5. Mind the gap. Are we going to see ramp clears in the future? I don't know. Is Crash Crucible, J.R. Howell watching the show? Number 4, try this in your affiliate or your garage. 11 strict muscle ups, 11 dips off the top of the bar into 11 pull-ups without coming off the bar. It's pretty incredible stuff for this young lady. And that'll not be the last time we've seen someone do something incredible pulling up on the pull-up bar. Number 3, 75-foot rope climb for time. Dear Bill and Katie, can we somehow get this at a competition? 75 feet, what do you guys think? Maybe a little round robin bracket challenge? Whatever it is, I want to see it in competition. Number 2, we have a world record in a 100-meter row of 12.5 seconds. I don't know if I've ever seen a rower hit a minute before, but if you guys want to challenge yourself, there it is. Let's see what you can do in 100 meters. And finally, at number 1, this 11-year-old boy does 100 strict bar muscle-ups in less than 12 minutes. I don't think I could do 100 of anything in less than 12 minutes, let alone 100 bar muscle-ups. So congratulations to you getting our top time or top score of feats of fitness for the week. That'll do it for us here today at the Sport of Fitness podcast. Tomorrow, the CrossFit podcast will be going live at 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central. So make sure you guys tune in there. We will go live every Wednesday. They'll be live on Thursdays. I want to thank Rory McKernan and Daniel Chaffey for coming on the show. We'll be back next week live at 12 p.m. Central. I'm your host, Chase Ingraham. See you then.